Dear colleagues, this video is presented by AerBIM. Briefly about us. AerBIM was founded in 2019 to work in the field of building information modeling. We specialize in developing plugins for automation and engineering network design in the Autodesk Revit environment. The company AerBIM is also an authorized member of the Autodesk Developer Network program. We are pleased to present you the first version of our 3D Security Designer plugin. The plugin is designed to automate the design processes of fire alarm systems and alert people about a fire in the Autodesk Revit 2019 environment. The 3D Security Designer plugin has a client-server architecture and consists of a database and a client part. The plugin's database is multi-vendor and contains a library of families that includes more than 800 items of equipment from various manufacturers. This includes Honeywell and Acer, Captec Electronics, Extreme Networks, and others. Families in the database are provided with a technical description that provides comprehensive information about their functionality. The client part is implemented in the Autodesk Revit environment and consists of 5 toolbars located on the 3D Security Designer tab. The client interface follows the recommendations of Autodesk company. All commands have both short and extended hints, as well as the ability to access help information for each of them by pressing the F1 key. Let's take a quick look at each of the toolbars. The first panel is the fire alarm panel. This panel consists of 4 tabs, each of which is responsible for selecting a specific category of equipment. When you select a category, a window for working with the database opens, where you can select hardware families from the database by setting search criteria. The search result is presented in the form of a list, where you can get acquainted with the brief information on each family. Follow the link to the technical description. You can also find brief information on the size type. To upload a family to the project, select one or more size types and set loading criteria. At the same time, the function of group insertion is implemented for smoke and thermal fire detectors. This function allows you to place fire detectors automatically. The group insert function works with the reference files, so you need to select a link to the architecture file for it to work. After the plugin has analyzed the reference architecture file, you need to set criteria for group insertion. Namely, specify which floors or rooms should be equipped with the fire detectors. You also need to specify the installation plane, as well as choose whether to display or hide the control zone. After that, the detector family is loaded into the project and automatically placed in the specified rooms. At the same time, the detector control zone, in addition to the control zone itself, also displays the height of the detector's installation, the plane of its installation, and the radius of the control zone. The next panel is Fire Alert panel. This panel also consists of 4 tabs, as well as the fire alarm panel. The functionality of the fire alert panel is the same as that of the fire alarm panel, except that there is no group insertion function in this panel. The marking panel allows you to automate the process of marking equipment. In order to mark equipment, in this case detectors, it's necessary to create a new circuit in which they will be included. To create a new circuit, you must first select the marking format for the circuit or create a new format. You need to set a unique name for the new format and then use tags to define its structure. When the structure is set, the format can be considered created. After that, you need to give a unique name to this circuit, fill in the user's fields, if any. You can also make some settings for the marking itself and set up its visualization. Then click on the Create and Mark button. Then use the detailing line to cross the elements that will be included in the circuit. Then press the Escape key to the marking will be applied. You can perform the following operations with existing circuits: change and delete. When changing a circuit, you need to select the circuit that will be changed. And then you can change the format, change its name, fill in the user field with some other information, configure the markings the same as when creating a new circuit, and change the visualization of the marking. After the changes are made, you need to click on the Change Marks button and the changes are applied. To delete a circuit, you need to select the circuit to delete, set some deletion criteria, and then click on the Delete Circuit and Mark button. A warning appears that the marking of 5 elements will be removed in this case. We agree and the marking is removed from the project. You can also change existing circuits by adding or removing an element from them. To add an item to a circuit, select the circuit to which it will be added and set the parameters for adding it. After that, select the reference element relative to which the addition will be performed. And then select the items to be added in the desired order. After that, the Finish button is clicked and the items are added to the circuit and marked. To remove elements from the circuit, you must again select the circuit from which the elements will be removed. Set the Delete Elements parameter and then select the elements that will be deleted. Click the Finish button and the items are removed from the circuit. In this case, the marking of other elements is changed. You can also use the marking panel to perform certain actions with individual circuit elements. For example, assign them an alternative label. To do this, manually enter the label value in the line, and then select the element to which the alternative label will be assigned. You can also search for elements among all circuits. To do this, in this case, enter the detector number in the search bar, click the Find button, and these detectors are highlighted as well as fit into the screen borders. And the last function is getting information about the element. When you click on the Information on Element button, the plugin prompts you to select the element you want to get information about. We select this detector, and you can see in which circuit it is located, the format of its marking, the marking itself, and alternative marking, if any. The next panel is the Adaptation panel. It's necessary in order to be able to use a family of third-party developers along with the 3D Security Designer plugin and the AerBIM template. In other words, adapt third-party families to the plugin and the template. When you click on the Family Adaptation button, a window appears where you need to set adaptation parameters. Also, select the folder where non-adapted families are saved, and select the folder where the adapted families will be saved. I selected the source folder, so I get a warning that a folder named Adapted will be created in it. We agree with this. Click on the Adapt button. The adaptation process is complete. You can now open the original family. There are no parameters with the AerBIM prefix for working with the template, and there is also no parameters for working with the plugin. Now open the adapted family. As you can see, it now has parameters with the AerBIM prefix, as well as the parameters for working with the plugin. In other words, the family is now suitable for working with the plugin and template. And the last panel is the Registration and Updates panel. You can use it to log in and out of your account, create and edit an account, and get plugin updates directly from here. You can also get acquainted with the version of the plugin certainly installed. Go to the developer's website and contact technical support. And in conclusion, I would like to say that the experience of our use of the plugin clearly showed that the functionality implemented in it can significantly increase efficiency and reduce design time in the Autodesk Revit environment by dozens of times. For example, the automatic insertion of the fire detectors allows you to speed up the process and its placement by more than 10 times. This time analysis was carried out during the placement of detectors in the framework of the project of 4-story building containing more than 100 rooms to be protected by means of fire alarm systems. Automated marking also allows you to speed up the process of marking equipment by more than 5 times and significantly reduce the probability of marking errors. This analysis was also carried out with the help of more than 300 pieces of equipment in the framework of a 4-story building project. It should be noted that AerBIM has developed a plugin as an element of the project environment for implementing a comfortable and at the same time efficient and fast design process for engineering and security systems, in particular in the Autodesk Revit environment. You can learn more about the plugin's functionality and its advantages over standard Revit tools on our YouTube channel.